How well did you sleep the night that Kirill signed his contract?
Like a baby, like a baby. Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, it was a bit of a grind. Took probably a little longer than it really needed to, but in the end, look, he wants to stay in Minnesota, and that's the big thing for us. We've got we've got our guy, and I hear it's too much, it's too this, it's too that, but you know what? Everything's better with him in our lineup and on our team. The alternative was not good, and we did what we had to do.
Was there ever a doubt that he wouldn't sign?
No, not for me, not really. Like, just knowing the kid, it's funny. Agents tell you all sorts of things to try to get a leg up negotiating, or oh, he can walk, he can do this, he can do that, and that's all true. But no, in my mind, he always really wanted to stay in Minnesota, but he did have options.
Well, the Russians always have options, because you can always bring up the KHL, right, as something to talk about. The other one is and I don't know how you're going to be able to answer this transparently, but when Craig Leopold says we're going to make him the highest paid guy in the league, what comes to mind for you?
Well, we did. Yeah, and I've been asked that question before, and hey, look, Craig is he's an incredible owner. He's an incredible guy to work for. The support is there, in so many different ways. But he is passionate. He is passionate about his team. He's passionate about our market, and he just wants to win a Stanley Cup. That's it. And you know what? He like I said, he's a passionate guy. He's emotional about it, and he speaks his mind.
How did it happen instantly that you had a plan and you just reacted to it, or was there a bigger blueprint out there? When it came out that Kirill had turned down $16 million, you were pretty front forward on that right away.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it got out, but it did. And you know what? I can't let things like that get in the way, or get in the way of progress, of progressing in the negotiations. This is the world we live in. Like, somebody says something to someone who tells this guy, who tells that guy, and it's out. It's not right. But that's what happens. And, I just can't make a big deal out of it. And you know what? He's got every right to make a decision like that. Players, nobody's holding a gun to their head. Like, they can make that decision if they want. Like, and you just can't let it get in the way.
You were the crossover team a year ago. What are your expectations in that difficult Central?
I mean, the Central's a really tough division, but you just, like I said before about the parity in the league and the competitiveness of it, it's each and every night. Like I said, you go into any building any night, you can win and you can lose. Like, it's just that even.
I was when we were going to talk about the signing, I thought we were going to talk about Marco Rossi. I didn't think we were talking about Kirill
or Gustafsson.
Or Gustafsson,
yeah.
So how, just from a pragmatic perspective, when you've got a big deal like the Kaprizov deal going, do the other deals, are they working in parallel? Are you allowing yourself an hour to deal with one guy and then an hour to deal with another? How do you manage your time when you're trying to get 2 or 3 contracts done at the same time?
I have a tremendous amount of help. Matt Sells, one of my assistant general managers, did the Gustafsson deal. He did a great job with it. So he took that off my plate. I handled the other two, but you always, yeah, I mean, you can have simultaneous things going on, and it's just different. They're on different paths, and you just got to jump back and forth, and just handle it like that. But I've got great help around me, and they help me manage a lot.
Some days your head must be spinning, though.
Yeah. Some days your head's spinning, and I always try to go back to my playing days and my contract negotiations. And, you're talking to somebody who had 2 contract holdouts and went to arbitration once. So I wasn't the easiest guy in the world to deal with either. But I try to go back in my mind there, because I have to try to think like a player. What's he thinking? How's he feeling? What are his real needs and wants and things like that. So try to be empathetic with how the player's feeling.
From a protocol perspective, do you ever talk to the player while it's going on, or is it strictly through the agent?
I don't negotiate with the player, but I will talk to them. Sometimes agents don't like that, but you know what? He's our player. I can do whatever I want. They might not like it, but that's, part of it's creating a relationship with the player too, where you're comfortable enough and you actually do care. I won't talk like the numbers and things like that. That I don't, well, maybe a little bit, but not like I talk to the agents, but they just have to know where I'm coming from as well. And it is business. It's not personal. You just have to, I like them to know where I'm coming from and my side of things. And then afterwards, Marco Rossi and I sat down. We had a nice conversation when he got back into town, and just kind of going over things. And I think it's important to do, because you never really know how an agent is relaying messages to the player. So I think it's important that they hear from me.
Not an exact transcript, but can you give us an example of what an exchange like that might be with a player that you're negotiating with?
Yeah, you know what? It's honestly just being real honest with them, and just saying like, hey, look, this is why I was the way I was. Like Marco didn't have arbitration rights. It's really the one time where I kind of have leverage. His next time around, he's going to be, coming to UFA, or maybe he's restricted with ARB rights, so he's going to have more rights. Just kind of, that's why the way I was. How are you feeling about that? And he was great. He's I tell him, I told him, I said, Marco, I really like you. You're a good player. He goes, Billy, I want you to love me. And I'm like, that's fair. That's fair. And I do. I love the kid. But I love that type of exchange. And you know what? I just think it's really important just to be honest with the guys and give them that information so they understand what we just went through.
Did that happen with you during your situations?
No.
No.
No, it was, it's a different world back then, though. Totally different world. Yeah, it just didn't happen. But, yeah,